So before we start, and while I'm still like fixing my hair and stuff, let me tell you about my morning. So I was like opening the faucet, and then I let the water run for a bit, and suddenly out pops this like black shadow, which I thought was like a Dementor or something, but it turns out it was just a frog the color of mud. And so I start freaking out, the frog is freaking out, we're both freaking out. And so I immediately try to humanely get it to leave my house. There's a back door that leads to an opening where I could have just swept it out, which is my original plan, but it just kept hopping about, so it was freaking out, and I was freaking out. And then I was like telling it, I'm not sure if it's a him or a her, so I'm gonna say it. I was telling it, like, you want to leave, and I want you to leave. We both want the same thing. So can you, like, help me help you get out? So eventually, after much freaking out and, like, prodding with the broom, I was able to get it to leave. So that was my morning. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Christy, and I'm here with a wrap-up books I don't know to I don't know because I lost track. Anyway, the first book I read, which is probably around April, mid-April actually, and that is Susan Dennard's Sightwitch. This is about Ryber Fortisa, the sort of like extra character who's not part of the two main characters. She just makes like these foreshadowy appearances in Sightwitch and Truthwitch. I like how this was easily read, and there were also like sketches and diary entries, because sight witches are encouraged to keep diaries and to like record their dreams and stuff. I'm still not entirely sure where like the love aspect comes from. I just know that her and Commander something Cullen are a thing, but like it doesn't really explain how they became a thing. I mean, like, I know how they met, which is explained, but not exactly how they became a thing. Otherwise, this was actually a pretty fun read, and I'm not sure if you can read this before reading the other two, because I think you need some foreknowledge going in. So that's what I have to say about this. Up next, I was trying, I think it was the one readathon to rule them all, and so I set myself up with a little TBR, which was I wasn't gonna follow any of the rules, because I figured if I follow rules it's just gonna make me feel kind of a little bit more trapped into the TBR, and I usually, once I feel trapped, I slow down my reading because I start to not enjoy what I'm reading. So I just decided to pick up 5 books that I've been meaning to get to, that I've had for several years already, and like pretty much everyone on BookTube has read. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna start reading it. So I was, I think, midway through Armada by Ernest Cline. Wow, this was a struggle because I don't play video games, but there were a lot of like fantasy references. Like there's a fun reference here about Name of the Wind. Like one of the characters named his call sign Kvoth, the main character from Name of the Wind. So yeah, I don't play video games, but I did get some other references where aliens are about to attack the Earth, and the only people who can save the Earth are these video gamers who are like the top of the best of the best. And so it was interesting, and it is a good story. Like, if Ready Player One was good, I think this is also just as good. Where Ready Player One had a lot of 80s references, Armada had a lot of 90s references, so at least that wasn't so bad. But because I had trouble sort of really grasping what he was talking about, it made it a bit harder for me to read. So this took me like the rest of April and some bits of May to just finish. So yeah, I mean, the story in itself is great. There's also a playlist at the end, which is like the gamer playlist of the main character, and I find it so fun because I found new music. So yeah, I really like books with playlists. I think I remember Melissa Marr or something during her that fairy series, and then there were like one of the books had a playlist of songs that she would listen to while she was writing. So I really find it interesting, the songs that authors listen to, if they do listen to music while they write, like what is it? And usually it's on repeat, so I guess they keep in the same mood. Anyway, so the readathon was still going on, right? So I just really wanted to try to finish at least more than one book. So I picked up the Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman, which is sort of the sequel to American Gods, but not really. I read a comment after I posted my review of Anansi Boys that it would have been better if I didn't view the book as a sequel. And in that regard, I think they were right, because I just viewed it as, oh, the sequel is kind of, I mean, like, it's good, but like, So I think if I would have viewed it as a companion, I think I would have liked it more or appreciated it more. But that said, the actual story though kind of fits, because Anansi is like a trickster god, and this whole book had the plot of feeling almost like a trick, but a well-told one that has a very good like fairy tale type feel to it. It's very Neil Gaiman. And the way that the main character comes into his own as well was so nice and so kind of really rewarding for me to read as a reader. But that's all I can really say about Anansi Boys. And then alright, so the TBR I had for the one readathon was Armada, Anansi Boys, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, The Silmarillion by J.R. Tolkien, which I mean, like, how can you do one readathon to rule them all fantasy type readathon without like J.R. Tolkien. And then I had the Lies of Locke Lamora. So up to this Lies of Locke Lamora, I only got up to 69 pages. Yeah, because I think I tried to jump into this right after Armada, and I just couldn't make myself, because I was already trying to make myself finish Armada, so it was like running very steeply uphill, and I just couldn't. So I will pick this up again, but not in the immediate future, because I just feel like I need quick things to read, light things. So as I was browsing my shelves, I watched Memento Mori's video about his Muriel Spark giveaway, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have some Muriel Spark here. I remember reading a Symposium by Muriel Spark, and it was good, but I don't think it was the best introduction because of the way it ended, and I just didn't think that she quite pulled off what she was trying to pull off. But when I read the prime of Miss Jean Brodie, that changed my mind entirely. After this, I was like, I need Muriel Spark. I need to read where can I find more Muriel Spark. And so this is about a middle-aged school teacher in Scotland who's in her prime, and so she gets these young girls, her students, the creme de la creme, to educate them. And then the thing about her education is it's not that she makes them stupid, it's just that she gives them culture. I had a reference for like who she reminded me of, but I don't. Yes, it's like Professor Slug, who does the Slug Club from Harry Potter. And the funny thing is, she like tells these girls like, take out your history books, pretend we're reading here while I tell you about my vacation in Italy this month. So I think that's really cool. And then the way that she was using her own personal beliefs to influence these young girls was interesting, but also quite manipulative. But it was a very, very good story. And there's also a movie of this book that was sort of, some of it was changed, but it stars Dame Maggie Smith as Miss Jean Brodie, and oh my gosh, it's so good, you guys. It's so good. But yeah, other than that, I really did like this book. It was very quick to read. Oh yeah, and then they have a really cool science teacher that at the start of her class to new girls, she always says, I have enough gunpowder in this jar to blow up this entire school. And I think that's so funny. But yeah, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, I like highly recommend it. Especially if you want like a quick read. and stuff, so yeah. And the last book I read, the Pneguin Collection, short stories. This I meant to read one a month because there are 12 stories. But I just really wanted a lot of short, quick things to read, and so I gave up on that, especially because I missed like 2 months. So I just read it all. And the Muriel's, I read it because I was like trying to get all the way down to Muriel's Spark, which I was able to do, so that's good. What can I say? It's just an interesting collection of stories by a couple authors I've read, some I have not. The one I really liked, the couple that I really liked were The Dream Lover by William Boyd, Robert Davies' A Christmas Carol Reharmonized, Sheena McKay, Death by Art Deco. That one really left me kind of bitin. Bitin is a Filipino word that sort of means like, it almost kind of like when you're left at a cliffhanger and you want more. That one, that was really good. Vladimir Nabokov's one was also quite interesting, but yeah, it was just like, it was okay for me. Donna Tartt's A Christmas Pageant, that was also pretty good. Yeah, I guess that's it. So those are the books I read, tried to read, couldn't finish. And so yeah, if you guys want to talk to me about them in the comments down below, please feel free to do so. And thank you guys for watching, thank you for sticking around, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!